This is the video for Radial Symmetry Part 2. We were drawing fruit, a cross section of fruit, and I told you you could either use watercolor or oil pastels to do this. So really quick, this is what the watercolor one turned out like. This is what the oil pastel one turned out like. So I'm going to quick show you how both really, how they look, and you can decide which one you want to do. Because, you know, I tried the watercolor and I didn't like it as well as I thought I was going to like it. So I'm going to do one page with two separate cross sections of fruit, maybe even three, real quick, to just show you some options here that you have, so you can decide for yourself which one you want to do. So we'll make and then lastly we'll have another one going this way. Because of the rule of thirds, it's always better to have at least three than having one or two. Okay, so here's my three fruit, and I'm going to go about this a little bit different way now. So the first one I'm going to use watercolor, so you can kind of see how it looks. And I'm going to start with yellow. And with watercolor, I'm going to warn you ahead of time, you're going to have to do several layers to really make it anywhere near the color that's going to make you really happy, I think. At least that would make me happy, because I want those colors to be bright. So I'm going to quickly get some yellow on mine for my watercolor one. If you already know that you want to use pastels or something else, then you don't have to do watercolor. You can just fast forward through this part. So I used some yellow. Now I'm going to use like a yellowish orange color for this middle part. Just more of a placeholder, honestly, because I really don't care for this color so much. So I'm going to go back over it with a super bright orange in a minute, because this is too dull for me. So the brighter you have, the better. I would use that. But for now, it's kind of just a filler so I can see where I'm going. Okay, so I'm going to use this super bright orange that I have. Woo, you're going to see the difference. And it's almost not fair, because the rest of this does not compare to the brightness that this orange exudes here. The rest of it almost doesn't even show up on my camera. It's interesting. I'm going to leave some spaces the best I can for white, because white shows reflection and it makes it look shiny and gives it texture. And I didn't do a very good job of that with the last watercolor one I did. So lots and lots of red. Make sure red is typically super watery and light, so you gotta really mix in there for a minute to get a darker red color. Yeah, see, that's a nice red. So I'm going to purposely leave white spots that are not covered in red the best that I can. To make it look shiny, trust me. have enough water in my cup. I'm having to reach and dip down all the way to the bottom. And I'll go back and blend that red better so it doesn't look so awful right now. It's not looking that great. But I'm kind of trying to lay a road map, as I was saying earlier, with that yellowy orange, just to try and see where I'm going to put it. You can see how the red mixing with the orange just makes it so much brighter. And that color just really pops a lot better. Sliver. Something like that. So there's at least a little bit of white in there to show the reflection. So now I'm going to go back and hit the red up with another coat, start dragging it down into that orange a little bit to give myself like a reddish orange. Oops, I accidentally went over my white spot. I'm gonna lose my reflections. No! Speaking of reflections, have you guys seen the new Mulan? It is so good. I was pleasantly surprised. Whoops, I got rid of another reflection. No! That's what I get for talking about Mulan in the middle of it. It was so good though. And I love Mushu. He's like my favorite character in the cartoon one, so I was like, I can never love the new Mulan without Mushu, but they proved me wrong. It was super good. Okay, so now I'm going to go back with my super hot orange again and kind of go back and blend some more. Going down from the middle of the red towards the center. Because this orange just, it's so bright and it makes it look way better. And then quick before it all dries, I'm going to go back with my yellow because right now you can't even see the yellow. It just looks white on my video, which is not cool. Oh, don't spill the water, Jones. Try to bring that yellow back out. Just making it look like a sunburst from the middle as it blends with the other colors. Beautiful. Alright, so we have our first one. I'm going to go in with like a yellowy brown to kind of show where the edges are of this center pulpy piece. You can barely even see it from that angle. It's interesting. Okay, and then this outer edge is going to be a layer of yellow. And then a layer of orange. Bright, happy orange. Not the boring one. And it's okay if they kind of blend together a little bit. Okay, so there's my first orange with watercolor. Okay, this next orange I'm going to do with pastels, so you can kind of see the difference. Is that a yellow pastel or is that a crayon? It looks to be a crayon. And I'm pretty sure my yellow is not that big. Maybe it is. I don't know. Who knows when it comes to my children. Okay. Oh, it appears to be a pastel. Yay! So I'm going to do like these random flame looking designs coming up from the center with my yellow pastel / mystery medium. And then we're going to find a light orange to overlap that a little bit. I just really want them to blend and look like flames because I think that the final product looks so much better with that flame look to it. I might not even need to use red on this one, I'm so close to the edge. We'll see. So then I'm going to use my darker orange, and because I'm so close to the edge, I better start leaving some spaces of white to show where there's going to be some reflections happening, because we want it to look shiny and juicy. My kids sound like they're playing a ninja game downstairs right now. I don't know what's happening, but it sounds serious. Oh man, the downside to pastels, when you accidentally get like a little floater piece of a dark colored pastel and it mixes in with everything. No, stop it! Alright, so I am going to go over the outer edge of this a little tiny bit with red. Not a whole lot. Making sure I leave spots for those shiny pieces that I want to leave. And I'm going to kind of overlap the orange with the red a little bit. Now, if you didn't choose to do this fruit, then I realize this might not matter too much to you, but as far as the technique, overlapping to get the colors you want, definitely still important, whether you're doing a pomegranate or a kiwi or some kind of citrus fruit. Don't really get the red over here like everywhere else, so I'm going to go back a little bit. And some yellow down here, it looks like. Okay, so you can see how these little highlights kind of make it look a little bit shiny, and that's the goal. So out here I'm going to do another layer of yellow. Oh! When you press too hard. For shame. Looks like I better keep that up. When it broke, I accidentally did some streaks of yellow, so I might as well make it look like I did it on purpose, right? And blend it. Okay, an orange on the outside. Alright, so you can kind of see the differences and similarities between watercolor and pastel. Both doable, I think. Now I'm going to go on to colored pencil for this last piece, if I have enough colored pencil to do it. I pretty much used up my colored pencil today when I did an earlier piece. Alright, so this one's going to be colored pencil. So I'm going to start with yellow. Oh! And break it because I'm pressing too hard. I'm just going to go about this far. So I have plenty of room to work with my orange, which is next. When you're doing the orange or the next color, whatever you're doing, you want to layer it about halfway so that they mix together. So you can still have that effect even though you're not using something that blends quite as well. Oh, my orange is so sad, it's tiny. And then red. And you still want to try, if you can, to leave some spots to show that shine, if possible. So I'm going to kind of try and plan those out and know that I'm going to have a couple here and there. Alright, so there's kind of what colored pencil would look like. Okay, I need my yellow colored pencil. So then, yellow out here. And orange. And since this is the only spot on the whole page that is not warm colored, I'm probably gonna make it like a purple or something super dark. Just for interest. Alright. So there's the finished product. You can decide, depending what mediums you have available to you. This is watercolor, what it kind of turned out like. Here is oil pastel, still my favorite. And then colored pencil. So it's up to you what medium, but the goal is to show that radial symmetry. And if you can, try and show those highlights of the fruit like they naturally would be when you cut open the fruit that you chose. And I mostly stuck to citrus this time, sorry. there you go. Can't wait to see yours. See you later. Bye.